Going. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Pageants and Tangents. We're a bit all over the place today, apparently. No intro video today. We're just going to get straight into it. I thought I'd ask the crew. Sorry, I'm trying to get the Instagram live started. There it goes. I thought I'd ask the crew today. We'd talk about any life lessons that we've learned from pageantry, because we are Pageants and Tangents. We occasionally talk about pageants, but I thought it'd be good to talk about some broader life lessons that we may have learned. Peyton is on her way back from Miami. I saw a bunch of the NBA girls were doing something there. She probably told me what she was doing, and I've just forgotten because it's been a manic week. So, Peyton, if you're watching, let me know what you were doing over there, because a bunch of the NBA girls were over there. I interviewed Lauren.
Gala. Was it St. Jude's?
Yeah.
St. Jude's. Yeah. They looked really pretty. I saw.
Yeah. They're all dressed up.
Like 4 of them all together: Mississippi, Georgia, Tennessee, Virginia were the 4 that I saw. They looked like they were having a blast.
There was a photo. I think they all posted up basically the same photos. There was a photo of the 4 of them all dolled up as pageant girls are. And then there was a 5th person on the end who obviously was not quite the same state of dolled up. And I just felt so sorry for her, because, you know, you're like supermodel, 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 ordinary person. And just by comparison, it's so unfair when you don't know how to take photos, and then you have to take photos with pageant girls. I can speak to this. You just don't know. They look great, and then you look like you think you're looking pretty, you know, wearing a suit and stuff, and then you just look at yourself in the photos and you're like, oh my God, I can never take
it's the most insulting thing in the world. And that's why I like to take pictures on my phone, so I can make sure I don't look like a troll. But also, that's why this year at Miss USA, guaranteed your girl will be paying someone to do her hair and makeup, because trying to do your own, which Adrian, you don't know, but like trying to do your own face beat next to people who like are professional face beaters, you feel like a clown.
Hang on. I at one stage was concerned that every time I would go on one of these things with you guys would look $1 million. This was a long time ago. And I was like 5 cents by comparison. And so I did go to, is it Sephora? It's some sort of like makeup shop. And I go in there. I'm obviously out of place, because first off, I'm the only guy in there. Secondly, I don't, you know, when someone walks in, they have no idea where to go, because they don't know where anything is. They don't know what anything is. And so I started talking to this, I don't even know what they're called, but some person who knows about makeup. And I said, I go in front of camera a lot. I'm concerned because I always look oily and got ring lights. Is there some way that I can look basically a little less terrible? And she gave me a whole bunch of like little sample stuff. I think I threw it out only recently because I never used it. And there was like little like foundation and these powders. And then she gave me these wipes that you dab so you look a bit less oily. And apparently that was invented in Japan by the geishas. And so I have all this stuff. I never use it. I've got a makeup brush. And like, so I might, because I'm going over to the US as well, like for Miss USA, I think I might need some hair and makeup so that I don't look horrible. Because if I'm going to all the events and, you know, stood next to you guys and you all look $1 million, I feel like I need to pull my weight.
I'll book hair and makeup for us.
I think we just need to get you like a really nice powder foundation where you can just do a little dab everywhere. Super easy.
Okay, hang on, Haley. Are you talking about Morgan? Or are you talking about me?
I'm talking about you.
I got
so what do I need?
Foundations.
What do I need?
Just a powder foundation. I'll do some research and I'll pick one out for you. And you just take a little sponge and you'll just dab a little bit of it everywhere. And it'll just mattify and it'll help you with camera flash and everything. So you're not getting that flashback or oil.
I feel like the fact that they don't have men's foundation. Also, Peyton, we're currently live. Just giving you fair warning.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. I thought you knew.
I feel like
the fact that you turn your camera around, Peyton.
Like, it's like a market. Maybe we should create a men's foundation, like a men's makeup line. Because, I mean, men can just wear regular women's makeup. But from a marketing perspective, I feel like that's an area I'm shocked they still haven't made yet, is like man makeup.
Yeah, but can I just say the area that I'm most scared about, like when Haley says powder, all I think about is the mess it's going to make. And I have a slightly deviated septum. And so I don't breathe through my nose that well. And so I breathe through my mouth more than I probably should. And so anytime, for example, my pet peeve is icing sugar on cakes. Because when I go to take a bite of the cake, I inhale through my mouth, inhale all the icing sugar, and then it's like I've taken a snort of an illicit substance, and then it goes all over the place. So my worry is that if I have setting whatever this powder is, and first off, it's going to make a mess, and I have a white bathroom. Yeah. Secondly, I'm going to inhale it, sneeze, and then just have an entire bathroom covered with
powder, not a loose powder, a compressed powder, and then you'll just like you'll just take a little bit. I'm gonna grab some and I'm gonna come back.
This is really unimportant. I'm just like, maybe there's something that could make this look slightly better. I'm not expecting to look like any of you guys, but just makeup. If I'm going to be at Miss USA and I'm going to the event, I would like to not look like a troll or, someone who's just turned up out of nowhere. It would be nice.
Show him.
This one is white, so it's for brightening. We wouldn't do it in white. We do it in your skin tone. And it's a pressed powder, obviously, so it's not loose. You're not going to inhale it. It's not going to get all over your bathroom. You would just take like a little powder puff and you would put some on it, and then you would just dab, dab, dab. You'll barely even notice it's there.
Okay, what does it do, Haley?
It's going to mattify.
What does that mean?
So it'll absorb the oil. So you won't be shiny, and then it'll help with camera flash. So sometimes if you don't have makeup on when there's camera flash, you start seeing more of like the veins under your eyes and stuff like that. It'll cover some of that, so you'll just look smooth.
Right. What I really need help with is the under eye bags, because I guarantee you by the time I'm there, I would have had way too much coffee. So we'll discuss that later. We don't need to know.
I'm sending you a product. There's a product that will make your under eye bags completely disappear.
Morgan, I tried one. I bought into the hype. I got this under eye vitamin C.
No.
And I put it here, and all it did was make the under eyes look yellow, so I look like I have scurvy or something.
What I'm sending you is the truth. It is the bee's knees. It is the best. I'm thinking about putting it on my necklines to see if it gets rid of my necklines when I'm walking around throughout the day. Because I had tech necklines before tech neck was tech neck. Just so y'all know, I was born with them, and I had them really bad.
Venus rings.
Okay, I just learned that they're called Venus rings. So I had them really bad, even in elementary school, to the point where like kids would like point it out. So I started telling them that when you're in your mom's belly, you breathe through your gills like a fish, and that I was just like basically like an Olympian breather in utero, and like I just had really big gills. So that was my go-to.
Yep. Some people will believe anything. You guys could tell me anything about makeup. You could have me wearing whatever, and I would do it because I have no idea.
Right. Wait, Peyton, how was your party?
Yeah, we're going around the room. So, Peyton, tell us what you were up to, because we saw the photos with 4 of you guys. I don't know if you heard this, but I saw a photo. I don't know if it was you who posted. There were the 4 of you all looking like supermodels, and there was a poor woman at the end of it who wasn't quite dolled up pageant style, and I just felt sorry for her. But what were you guys up to? Catch us up.
Oh my gosh. I don't know what you're talking about. You're going to have to send that to me so I can see it. But we were in Miami for the St. Jude Angels and Stars Gala at the Intercontinental in Miami. So I flew out to Miami yesterday at 5 in the morning, and I landed at 10. I did not stop moving until almost midnight, and then I got up again at 5 in the morning and got on a plane, came home, and still have not stopped moving. So y'all forgive me.
Love that for you.
If I'm not making much sense. I just busted through the door and sat down. I did not think I was going to be out as long as I was, but we're here. That's why I got off a plane. I have not done anything else. So that's what we're working with.
So the moral of this story is, and we're going to keep it pretty short and sweet tonight, Peyton, because you've had no sleep. I actually have to go, and Haley obviously has a new sleep schedule where she actually has to sleep not like a werewolf. And so we will keep it short and sweet. May I just point out, you just made my point, because you've not stopped moving for 72 hours and you still look better than me. So this is why I need help okay, so please, whatever you guys have, send help, because I don't want to look like they dragged a homeless person into Miss USA
Oh my
to help
gosh.
top all their events. Seriously.
How was the Intercontinental? Because that's where Adrian and I
Yeah.
will be staying.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Uber was super, super accessible.
Good.
Was it super fancy?
It was very fancy.
Love.
We were on the mezzanine level for most of it, but even the lobby was gorgeous and had like this sculpture that had a projection playing on it at nighttime, and yeah, it was beautiful.
Okay, Shanazza.
Did you have any time to actually enjoy yourself, Peyton, or was it just work?
Oh no, I mean we had a lot of fun. So as soon as I got to the hotel room, which I know Morgan saw the video of me busting through the door, but all of the other girls had already been there for a day or two. But because of my work schedule and the way the flights lined up, I wasn't able to find a flight at a reasonable time after I got off work. Otherwise, I would have been landing in Miami and Ubering over at like 3 a.m. on the girls, and I wasn't going to do that. So I came in Saturday morning, and I landed, Ubered to the hotel. All the girls were already completely ready because we had plans for brunch in like 20 minutes once I got to the hotel. So I had to throw on glam super fast, throw on a dress super fast, and then we went to brunch. And brunch was fabulous. We went to the Orange Blossom on South Beach, I think, and it was amazing. It took a little longer than we expected, and then we got stuck in really bad traffic. So then we only had an hour to get ready for the gala, all four of us. But we made it, and we made it to the gala early, a little more than we were planning to, which was great. And then I was meeting and greeting all of the guests at the top of the escalator from probably 5:30 or 6 until about 10. And then we wrapped things up, got a couple of more pictures, jumped in an Uber, grabbed a snack at the 7-Eleven, and then went to bed.
Love a gas station snack.
Yeah.
That was
I'm disappointed that it wasn't a Waffle House, Peyton. I think you missed a chance there.
Yeah, I don't even think I saw a Waffle House.
Yeah, I don't know if they have them in Miami.
Yeah.
Oh, is Waffle House not posh enough for Miami? Is that it? Is that?
Yeah,
I don't know these things.
Waffle House is way too classy for Miami.
Definitely.
I don't know. Well, I don't know. Okay, I really don't know. So I don't want to be stepping on anyone's toes. But Peyton, sounds like you've had a busy weekend. Obviously, we're getting closer by the week to your big event, MVA. How's everything going in terms of pageant prep?
It's going great. I mean, we are literally just taking it day by day at this point because it is something that I have to work on every single day. So it's getting a little hectic to fit everything in at once, but nothing but a blessing. It's grind time. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, you hang in there. Let's move on so we don't keep either of you two young guns up too late. Hello, Cobalt. I'll circle back around to Morgan in a sec. We'll go to Haley because Haley's also had her first week as a famous celebrity on the TV. So, Haley, how's your week been?
I was having the time of my life, and everybody at work was like, what's wrong with her? Why is she so peppy? And they've all tried to convince me that my job is not as cool as it is. And it actually is that cool. I will say working in a newsroom is legitimately Candyland for anyone with ADHD because every single day is different. You get to talk about different things every day. And I feel like I'm almost never in the office because we're always on site filming things and interviewing people. And then I come back and I edit. So that's a lot of fun. I'm also really excited because I got to start my first week as a multimedia journalist during Earth Week. So I was getting to cover a lot of cleanups, and I did a story on microplastics, and I just got access to be able to publish my work online for Erie News now. So I'll be able to share the links to the stories I did last week coming up this week. So that's really awesome. And then I also lined up an exclusive story that I'm going to be covering tomorrow. So it was a really, really good week.
Wow. Okay. And I do want to see the clips because I want to have that moment when I can point to a TV and say, I know that person. I knew her before she was famous. And I don't watch TV. I don't know if you guys watch TV. It's been a long time since I actually watched TV, but I will make an exception. in this case. So
I'm currently watching Designing Women, and if you've never watched it, I'm sending you one episode because there's a rant that a lot of queens will use as their onstage talent, talking about, and it ends, and it's like, and that's the night that the lights went out in Georgia. And I really want to send it to Peyton. I'll send it to the group so that Adrian can see it.
I have no idea.
It's fantastic.
I need some context. Okay.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Haley, I'm curious because I know you're in school too. Are you balancing things well for now?
Yes. My classes are in the evenings on Tuesday, so I literally end work at 5:30, drive 15 minutes home, and get on my class call 15 minutes later. And that's kind of a trek. And then I have 4 hours of class that night. I spent probably 3 hours today doing homework to get caught up, and I have just a little bit more. But what I think is really convenient for my one class, because I'm going to be working on a news story that's something national that also affects my city at the local level. I haven't decided what my topic is yet. I now have access to resources from Associated Press where I can get sources and interview experts and find them much easier and have that access of, hey, I'm a reporter. Will you talk to me about this, instead of me cold calling people and saying, hey, I'm a Harvard journalism student. Would you be willing to chat with me? Like, it holds a little bit more weight if I'm actually a reporter, and I can also use those interviews to do a story for work too. So much more convenient now. I will say school is easier because I have this job.
Yeah, that's
That's amazing. It's like you've got the job before your degree's even finished that you were supposed to have, or you could get the job. So I don't know. I mean, the way things work. I mean, both of you are super busy. You got ridiculously early wake up times and then no free time to speak of. So that's good. Morgan, what have you been up to this week? Anything out of the ordinary or snatching
Adrian,
as usual?
You know, we sleep, we eat, we work, lather, rinse, repeat, 7 days a week. I'm just snatching waste. That's it. Telling people on the carnivore diet, because apparently someone slid up on my Q&A on Instagram. I was like, what about carnivore? I've seen some good results. I've reached a point where I'm like, I'm a nice coach. I'm not a mean coach, but I'm also reaching a point of like no more BS and like pussyfooting around topics, coach. And I'm like, girl, like, don't make me mad. Don't make me mad. Please eat your fiber. So yeah, no, we're working, babe. We're working.
I will say I was on a coaching call with a client and she was talking to me about the carnivore diet. The problem was, even with keto, she didn't realize that like the way keto works, it's not a high protein diet. It's actually a high fat, moderate protein, low carb diet. And she didn't understand the basic mechanics of it. So I actually had to spend about 20 minutes feeling like I was, channeling my inner Morgan to tell her actually how this works. And I was like, you've been doing this diet and you don't know how it works. And it's like, oh, I saw it on TikTok. I was like, guys, maybe following dietary advice from TikTok is not the smartest thing to be doing. It's like, oh, I lost weight. Yes, you also look very sickly. So don't do that. For the sake of the audience, I won't repeat what Morgan was ranting and raving on about before we got on live, except it was very entertaining and I feel sorry for your couch.
Peyton, you missed it. I'll fill you in afterwards.
Yeah, I don't think you need to be filled in. Haley, you good? Or are you just airing your nails?
I have something to add. Colon cancer rates are on the rise, y'all. So even if you are going to take bad advice from TikTok, please eat your fiber.
Fiber which is refreshing to see, because I mean, you've seen it for the past few years, people like driving home, nailing in that like protein's important. So you're used to hearing people repeat that. Yeah. Fiber hasn't really been getting its moment in the sun, like I don't think ever, honestly. So it's nice seeing influencers who aren't idiotic and cringy talking about the importance of fiber, because colon cancer, it's definitely on the rise, but it's on the rise in young people, which is what's so freaky now. But we don't eat enough fiber, like not nearly enough. So, I mean, 25 grams a day.
It's even higher depending on, I think men, the recommendation in some cases is almost up to 40 grams.
Yes, men's like 35 to 40. I think women is 25. But
I will say also that the most convenient source of fiber. Sorry, guys, we'll get to our topic in a sec, but this is kind of important. The most convenient source of fiber normally is carbs. Like if you have brown rice or brown bread, that's where most of the fiber is. And so if you've cut that out for keto or whatever, you're probably not getting that. And I know this because when I was on keto, I was like, well, I need to make sure my fiber keeps up. And it was very difficult to find foods that were keto friendly, yet still had fiber. The only one I could find, avocados. And so I was scoffing avocados like you wouldn't believe it. That also has healthy fat, so it was great. So I was eating avocados like I was going out of style. But guys, be very, like if you're doing something for only a week, like I've heard some of you dehydrate and stuff. Okay, for a day, I get it. But ongoing, you can really screw up your body. I know Morgan has talked about this before. Screw up your body, metabolism long term, especially women with hormones and things like that. If you do some of these weird diets, please check with someone who actually knows. And not now, Morgan, can I just ask? I was going to say not a trainer, only because in Australia, personal trainers are not allowed by law to talk about nutrition because that's not their qualification. So you need a nutritionist. Is that the same in the States?
I don't know if it's legally, if it's the same thing in the States. I went ahead and automatically got a nutrition certification. And that is something that I cover in my liability contract is what I have qualifications to speak on in and what I don't. So, but the coaches that I respect, if they aren't already like a registered dietitian or a nutritionist, they have multiple certifications in nutrition. So they've had to at least study it. But someone who is just just a personal trainer, has never dabbled in that field. Yeah, you should not be taking advice from them. I mean, they're probably, they could be incredibly well read and well studied, but coming from someone who's a perma nerd, it is not hard to pay a couple of $100 and get a certification. Just get certified. Like, give yourself that little bit of a leg up. But no, there's some wackos out here who don't have a leg to stand on education wise or studies wise, and they're doing the most.
Yeah, I feel, I mean, you can get anything online these days. An MBA used to mean something, and now you can get online MBAs. And I'm like, I don't know what education you're getting. I just realized that in this room, I think I'm the least educated out of all of you, that doesn't happen very often to me. But I'll eat my humble pie whilst I'm here. Anyway, shall we move on to our topic for today, which is most important life lessons we feel that we've learned from our time in pageantry. And I'm not talking directly about pageant lessons, like how to do your glam and makeup as Haley can in 5 minutes or Peyton can in 20 minutes, if that's a skill you've learned. I mean, the other stuff, like how to interview for your dream job, Haley Poe, right? And get the job in the first time, which is not supposed to happen. So things like that. So we'll go around the room. And then I'll make sure to add my own 5 cents in, because I always forget to add my 5 cents, but that's okay. Morgan, shall we go to you first? What do you feel your most important life lessons have been from not only your time in pageantry, but working with all the girlies that you do?
You can't allow your worth to be defined by one singular thing. I think that is the biggest thing I've seen and I've learned personally, because I had a very interesting and not normal journey in pageantry, but that I've seen from my women too. And I know it's hard when you work really hard and you want something really bad and don't get it. I also know it's really hard when you work hard and you get something and then you have to give it up and figure out who you are outside of that. So recognizing that your worth and your identity isn't tied to a singular title or a set accomplishment is probably the biggest lesson I've learned. And it's the biggest lesson that my queens continuously remind me of, because I mean, I've seen women compete on stage and be left standing who are more than worthy of the title that they didn't receive. And I've seen women crowned who did nothing with that title, and it didn't care to let it take them anywhere or utilize it for any type of growth or benefit. And so, yeah, I'm going to say don't tie your worth to one singular thing. And that doesn't just apply into pageantry. I mean, that can be your job. It can be your sport. If you're an athlete, I know that a lot of times athletes like to say, like, I'm a tennis player and that's who I am. Yeah. But figuring out who you are as a whole person and not linking it to just one individual thing.
It's interesting you say that, because I interviewed Lauren Salambini just last week, Miss Volunteer America.
I watched. It went really well.
Thank you. I spoke to her as I often do, as you guys all know. I spoke to her after the cameras were off. And it's interesting, we talked about, if you're a psych nerd like Morgan is and like myself, that moving on from MVA in 2 months' time, right? Handing over that crown to someone else. Hopefully it'd be Peyton. I'm biased, but anyway. And I said to her that she was a bit, well, I don't know, afraid is not the right word, Lauren, but she wasn't, let's say, looking forward to it. She was and she wasn't. And I said to her that it is literally going to be like grieving, because a part of your identity has gone and can never come back. You can't be Miss Volunteer America again. And I think that's something that only people who really pursued something really hardcore can appreciate. So whether it's an elite tennis player, an elite gymnast, or a pageant girl, right? If you've dedicated your life to something for a year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever it is, 10 years sometimes, and then you got it, but then you have to give it up only after a year, that can be very difficult psychologically. Got to surround yourself with good people, I think, and have a life outside of pageantry as well. That really helps. We'll go across to Miss Sleep Deprived. Peyton first, because you're both sleep deprived. Peyton, is your brain able to come up with, in the state that you're in, what have been some of the most important life lessons you've gleaned from your time in pageants?
I don't know if it would even be fair to sum up what I've learned from pageantry into 1, 2, or 5 life lessons by themselves. I think that going into this as an adult and as somebody that didn't really understand the industry, and this was not, on my bucket list from a young age, this is not something that was taught into me. I learned more of who I am faster than I think I ever would have doing anything else in my life.
Yeah.
So I think that by itself is kind of like a life lesson that it has taught me, where you don't have to find yourself in the hard moments, in the easy moments, in the good or the bad moments. Sometimes it's just working extremely hard towards a goal that you're chasing after. You don't realize that you're not molding yourself into this person that can accomplish this goal. You're just growing into who you were always meant to be. And it's really amazing just to kind of find yourself along the path of the journey to the crown, or the journey to a new job, or any kind of big accomplishment that you really have to bust your tail to reach after. I think that it's important that we all sit back and realize where the journey took us, how far we've come in such a short amount of time, and how it's molded you into who you truly were supposed to be from the beginning.
Yeah.
So without that being a life lesson, I think that is what pageantry has truly taught me.
I think that's a very good life lesson. I think that's something that everyone could take something from. Well done with your sleep adult brain. That was very deep and very wise.
Yeah.
For comparison's sake, I was moving stuff around on my computer because I was running out of hard disk space, because believe it or not, all these things take up a lot of space. And I went back to the first recording that we sat down as a group together, and the first thing that played was your rendition of When I Was a Young Warthog. So just for comparison's sake, to see where we started and the point that we've gotten to, it is a point that's well taken. How much, just before I go over to Miss News Reporter, Peyton, how much for yourself do you feel you've changed over the last year? Because, I mean, you started a new job as well, similar field, but a new job. Obviously, you have been busting tail. I know some of your schedule, and it scares me when I look at it. How much do you feel you've changed over your time as, let's say, Miss Georgia volunteer, at least?
You know, I mean, the higher titles, 9 times out of 10, comes more responsibility, more appearances, more expected of you, right? And we know that, and we want that stepping into these roles, right? If you truly wanted to be a state title holder, you have to keep that at the back of your mind and know that it's not going to be easy, but if you want it, you can do it along the way and while you have it on your head. So I think that in the, I don't want to say chaos, but in the weight of the crown of being a state title holder, I've learned specifically a lot more of what Peyton wants.
Yep.
Out of life, out of interactions, out of experiences, bucket list things. I'm definitely a workhorse. And I told the board that as 5 minutes after I was crowned. I was like, tell me what to do, tell me where to go, I will get it done. Like I will work so hard for this, you don't understand. That's what I do.
Yeah.
And at times there was a little naivety in that statement, because I truly meant, like, I'll do anything regardless of what situation it puts me in, what mental state it puts me in. Like, I will work for this, you tell me. But I think as the year has gone on, I've learned to respect myself a little bit more. Still being a workhorse, still getting everything done that I need done, but having respect for what I also want out of the experience and out of life. And it's, you know, in the psychology world of it all, has given me a new respect for myself.
Yeah.
If that made any sense. I might have lost y'all.
It's interesting for me to watch. I don't want it to sound like y'all don't have backbones beforehand, but when you watch a title holder change and transform throughout her year of service, they end up with a spine of freaking steel. It's really cool, because I feel like that is how it is for most of you guys. You come in and you're so grateful for the opportunity and you're so excited, and you know, it's almost like maybe you feel indebted or something and really want to just do everything to please everyone. But by the end of it, I have yet to see a single queen give up her title and not be an absolute certified baddie who's going to speak up for herself, stand up for herself, put her foot down. Like, it's very cool for me to see. Like, again, not to make it seem like y'all didn't have like a backbone beforehand, but by the end of it, you all have like drawn a border around what you're willing to put up with, what you're willing to do and not do. And I love watching it. I think it's super empowering.
Well, and introspectively, I feel like it also gives us a new respect for other people as well. You sit back less and say less more.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say. You speak up for others more often because you have respect for your own boundaries. So if you see boundaries, and I'm not saying any of this to say that there's like been a negative experience or anything like that. Truly just, what do I want out of life? Again, what do I want out of interactions? And that has taught me how to steer interactions as well into not only completing the task that I set out to do, but also aiding myself in another way, whether that's just cracking a joke with somebody that people may have been a little afraid to crack a joke with, but like that is what would bring me joy out of the conversation. Things like that, like random. I don't mean anything specific or bad.
No. And I think it's finite. Like, you realize you have a year.
Yes.
So like, Yeah, like absolutely set those boundaries and set those goals and hold hard to them, because like you get 1 year to do it. It's not like you get the next 10 years to be Georgia Volunteer. You get a year, dude. Like you and Haley had a year. Do whatever the heck you want, and say no if you need to, but it's more so of saying yes and pushing for the opportunities that you really want to make sure happen before your reign is over.
Yeah. I had 6 months. Sorry, go ahead.
That's even worse.
Yeah, I did have 6 months. So it's one of those, like, make the most of it quickly.
Haley was like, I was barely in that crown before I was out of it.
Yeah, sorry. You were saying, Peyton?
I lost my train of thought.
I had 6 months.
Sorry.
But I think that it has just, given me more perspective on giving myself more grace and allowing myself to have the things that I truly want and figuring out what that is also.
I think before we go to Miss News Reporter, poor news reporter only got 6 months. She really got, especially coming after, the wake of COVID, where you had like longest reigning ever so-and-sos, and I've been queen for 382 years, and then Haley gets 6 months. I think what Peyton is saying, and Morgan, you also mentioned, it's not only knowing what you do want, but also knowing what you don't want. And I think sometimes that's extremely important. Yes, I'm willing to do this, but you know what? I've learned I'm also not willing to do that. I'm not willing to put up with that sort of behavior or that sort of judgment or being treated in a certain way. And I think learning to stand up for yourself, I'm not going to say it's just for young women, because it's young men as well, but learning to do that and understanding that some people will react against that negatively and going, you know what, that's okay. Because if you're not willing to have me stand up for myself, then you're probably not someone that I want in my social circle anyway. And that's I think a really big life lesson. Miss 6 months. What life lessons have you learned? I mean, you've moved into a new stage of your life, obviously, over the last week. So I'm sure there's lots of lessons. So have at it.
I mean, I could write a book on all of the ways that I am different because of pageantry. I will tell you that when I started, I was 16 years old. I was afraid of my own shadow. I only wore baggy clothing. I was terrified of public speaking. And I watched Miss Teen USA with my mom one year, and I was like, you know what? I could do that. And I competed for Miss Pennsylvania Teen USA, was third runner-up, fell in love with pageants, and was like, I'm going to keep doing this. And I noticed that there was this massive change in confidence with me, and that just continued to happen every pageant that I did, and I'm a very different person on the other side of it. And Adrian is going to cringe when I say this, but if I were to summarize,
don't
give me a chance. Okay, let me cook.
Let her cook.
If I were, that's fine. I'm okay with that. Actually, if I were to summarize the most important information that you need to take away from competing in pageants, I would say Delulu is the Salulu, and I will tell you why. You have to be so dedicated to your own success and have so much belief in what you are able to achieve that you will not stop chasing it no matter what happens. I know, because I was a pageant girl, that any challenge I face, I will overcome no matter what. I know that if I set a goal, I'm going to achieve it. And that's such a massive change for me. And that's something I think everyone should learn to develop. Like, you should have the audacity to chase your dreams, and I think that's such a beautiful thing. And I walked into an interview to become a journalist. I don't have a degree in journalism. I don't have any experience in journalism. And I got that job on my first interview. And that's something that pageant girls are uniquely capable of, because we can sell ourselves, because we have that belief in what we're capable of. And I will always be grateful for my years in pageantry, because they made me who I am.
It's so funny. So many women start, and even girls, depending on what age they're starting, but they always start pageants and they're like, I wasn't confident. I was super shy. And then now, like, they end up
I never believe it. Like, I'm still, the part that I'm having the most difficulty with right now is Haley always wearing baggy clothes.
Yeah. That's a weird
Really?
concept.
You have baggy clothes? Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was 16, so that was quite some time ago. That was 7 years ago, 8 years ago.
Was it like Adam Sandler-esque, or were you still like girly, but just like Lily Pulitzer, but 2 sizes too big?
Girly Adam Sandler. So like long shirts, jackets, hoodies. Yeah.
My
I didn't
generation,
want to be
the Hollister
seen.
shorts that had no inseam would have given you hives.
I'm familiar. Yeah. Because I was 16 in 2017, 2018. So, we were still wearing like short shorts and crop tops and stuff. And then there was me. And I was super insecure. So I was in the corner with my baggy clothes. And then I was insecure about my baggy clothes, but I didn't want to change my style because I was like stressed about it. So pageants changed a lot.
Into exposure therapy. That's what a pageant exposure.
Yeah.
Y'all are crazy.
You compare that to winning like the swimsuit award at Miss Earth USA, and that's just a very different person. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I haven't seen many baggy swimsuits on a you don't see baggy clothes very often in pageant. Can I also just clarify? I fully endorse what you said about having a bit of delusion. My only problem with that phrase is that the fact that it rhymes like a 5-year-old, like Delulu is a salute. It really sets me off when people start using words incorrectly. Like when you guys were all running through that craze of demure, and you were all using the word demure in a way that it was like the complete, and I was like, oh, you say that to me, I'm gonna punch you. I'm gonna punch you, and that like it sets me off in a way I can't. Yeah. Oh,
we have to stay relevant and keep up with the lingo of the children.
You do 6, 7. Oh my god!
That's the one thing I don't get.
I don't understand it.
That I'm going to act like I get it because I want to be cool.
No one understands it. That's the thing. Everyone I've asked, I even interviewed one of the teen volunteers. I can't remember which one. I know her name was Ariana. I can't remember which state. And I asked her because she's like 15, 16. I asked her and she's like, I don't know what it means. This is the thing. It's a viral craze around the world and no one actually knows what it means. But everyone knows you have to do this and say it in a particular way. Like, well, if you don't know what it means, stop saying it.
Anarchy. I don't know what it means, but I love it.
Anarchy. Well, I love everything that you guys have said about your life lessons. I will second them. I don't think I really have anything else to add. I think it's like what Peyton said. It's the journey of self-growth that you guys go on, and I think you learn a lot of life lessons. I'm not talking about skills. I'm talking about life lessons about who you are, who you want to be, who you want to surround yourself with, who you don't want to surround yourself with. And I think setting boundaries, especially as young women in this day and age, is so important. And feeling that you can do that and understanding, as I said, that not everyone's going to like that you do that, especially when you stand up for yourself for the first time. But that's a lesson in and of itself. So that's the only thing you walk away from in pageantry. I would say that that's probably worth it in my estimation, maybe as much as an online MBA. The only thing I was going to say, we'll go around the room and you guys can tell everyone what's going to happen in your next week. The only thing I will say, April 25th is obviously a special day, silly day in pageantry because of miscongeniality. Fun fact for you guys at home who aren't Australian or New Zealand or Kiwi, as we like to say, 25th here in Australia and New Zealand is Anzac Day, which is Australia and New Zealand Army Corps. It's kind of like our Veterans Day. And so it's a public holiday and shops aren't even allowed to really open as a sign of respect, which I like. But 25th was on a Saturday. And so today, which is our Monday, is actually our public holiday in lieu. But it's always been funny for me that 25th is such a big day in pageantry because of miscongeniality. But for us Aussies and Kiwis, it's actually a bona fide public holiday, just so you know. So fun fact, we actually get the 25th off. And we're not allowed to work as a sign of respect. So there you go. All right. Miss News Anchor, are you doing ASMR or do you have, I can't tell you.
I'm thinking about it. I have thoughts. So the quote is the quote is, "It's not too hot, it's not too cold. All you need is a light jacket." And then she freaks out when she gets off the stage because she's like, "That wasn't what the question was. They didn't want my favorite date in the year. They wanted my like perfect date." And I don't think we should be asking women in pageants questions about what their perfect date is. So I would consider that a really great way to avoid answering a really bad question. It's just my like 2026 interpretation of that scene. I'm sorry, I was just thinking about it, and so I wanted to share with the class.
That was a segue and a half, Miss Poe. I will say I also agree with that. I don't think that sort of question should be coming up. I will say whenever I look at that scene, the first time I saw it, I was like, forget the girl. That's Captain Kirk. Why is Captain Kirk on a pageant stage? Like, I don't even go. If you know that, like that random old guy, he's famous. Yes, actually, he was a long time ago. All right, Morgan has judgy eyes on me. So,
is that Star Trek or Star Wars?
You will get in. Oh, you want to get? Oh, you have just started.
You want to talk about mothers? I've never watched either of the stars. I've not watched Star Wars, and I've not watched Star Trek.
So cancelled for that. Forget your potty mouth. You will get cancelled for not knowing the difference between Star Wars and Star Trek. They're so passionate about this. You have no idea what you do.
That's Star Wars. That's Chewbacca from Star Wars.
This one, Live Long and Prosper.
That's Star Trek. Live Long and
Star
Prosper.
Trek.
That's Mr. Spock. Yeah.
Live long and prosper.
I'm not gonna watch them, but I'll learn a little more. I ain't watching them.
No. I mean, also, the next week when you're away, Morgan, it's like coming up to May the 4th. That's a Star Wars reference, just so you know.
Be with you.
Yes, which I think is very that's very awkward. But anyway, yeah, don't confuse Star Wars and Star Trek. That's what will get us cancelled.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, you don't have to watch any of the Star Wars movies except for Revenge of the Sith. That is the only one, and I will never bother you again.
I think you have to watch the original too. Like
no, just watch Revenge of the Sith. It's the only good one.
Y'all are bent. I'm not watching that. I'm not watching Planet of the Apes either, and I'm not watching any movie with Nicolas Cage.
I wasn't going to suggest any of that.
I am a woman with
The Rock with Nicolas Cage and Sean Connery. You have to watch that.
I hate that man's face. Something about him makes me unhinged angry. Something about his stupid freaking face.
I would like to say that Morgan's opinion is not reflective of everyone else's. Just in case you're coming across Nicolas Cage. In this day, Morgan, we covered the fact that person who explained that the Lion King song meant, "Oh my God, it's a lion." He's getting sued for $27 million. So let's not open ourselves up for any kind of getting sued for random silly things.
I'd have to edit that out.
No, it's all good. All right, Peyton's wishing that she hadn't rushed back home to jump on this absolute nonsense. Okay. All right, let's wrap up before we get sued for some millions of dollars. Morgan, what you got coming up this week?
We leave on Wednesday. Well, we have to finish getting everything else out of our old house, fully moved out. So we leave on Wednesday. I am going on a business trip to the beach where I'm going to be getting lots of photos and content and probably I'm trying to come up with some ideas, but I'm thinking like how to eat and work out while on vacation is a good one to walk people through because that seems to always be a struggle. But yeah, we're going to be at the beach for like 5 or 6 days. We come back on Monday. So that'll be nice. Hopefully I'll come back with a tan, and I'm already on like my 3rd shade of foundation because I'm slowly tanning. The melanin is slowly building back up in my skin. So hopefully when I come back, y'all are going to be like, "Oh my gosh, what a bronzed goddess."
We won't recognize you at all.
I'll be
I will say also, when I am over in the US, Morgan very generously volunteered to be my US point of contact. So if you find me lying in a ditch somewhere when I'm in America, then you contact Morgan, okay?
He's
just in case that happens.
Billardy.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck. You're going to regret. I'm going to make you regret saying that. Tom will be like, "Oh my God, go back to Australia."
Josh will just be dragging us around by our hair. It'll be fine. It'll be fun.
I'm growing my hair out as well. So I'm thinking like by the time I get there, I don't know if it'd be quite long enough to put back in a ponytail, but I feel like I'm so sick of having
it. As long as mine? Can we match?
Probably. Yeah, because my hair grows. So we'll look like twins.
Able to tell us apart.
No, we'll both be blonde goddesses. It'll be amazing. I used to have my hair blonde as well, so we can absolutely, and I have photos that prove it. It was halfway down my back. So,
it didn't happen because you with blonde hair makes me a little, it's like, it gives me the same feeling as when someone tries to touch your belly button.
Yeah,
I feel a little uncomfortable thinking about it.
There's a photo of me on Waikiki Beach, as in Hawaii, and there's me sitting in a shirt, a collared shirt. I thought I was so cool. I thought I was a surfer dude wearing rip curl surfing shorts and a Hawaiian shirt and my long hair flowing behind me. I had these orange glasses.
I saw orange glasses.
Yes, I send it to everyone because no one believes me. And my hair is out and down and halfway down my back.
Where did you see this photo? Is it on his Instagram?
I don't even remember, but I recall the photo. Adrian's been through some hair moments.
Peyton's the one who tripped me out because I was stalking her Instagram I love to do that, by the way. Like, if y'all just want to know one of my weird hobbies, I go down rabbit holes of just going through a page all the way to the beginning. I went through Peyton's all the way to the very start, and she was on the phone with me, and I was like, wait.
You used to be blonde?
Weird.
This is the thing. I cannot see you, Peyton, as anything other than a redhead.
That wasn't for her.
Me, no, when I see you as a blonde, I'm like, hang on, you've always been a redhead, right? I'm like, no, it does my head in.
Patricia.
I know. I like to say that when I dyed my hair red, I looked in the mirror and finally recognized who I was.
That's
True
cool.
Story.
I love that. So, Miss Peyton, what have you got coming up this week?
Lots and lots of prep this week. It's a 4-day week for me, but that does not mean I have Friday off. I have to drop off my gown to get that fitted, make sure it fits like a glove. I'm going to pick up my opening number dress, have a look at pieces of my talent costume. I have a couple of prep sessions with the board throughout the week and something else. And then I'm going out of town on Saturday as well. And I should be back Sunday.
If you're not, Peyton, I understand. Okay, I'm giving you preemptive forgiveness. It's all good. Morgan's getting us up for next week. So we'll be excited to see if we need two, we need two. If it's only me on the call, I mean, Haley will be here, just be us two talking. That's fine too. It's not like that's never.
I believe it.
Yeah, we'll soldier on. It's busy season for a lot of people.
If you guys can't be here, we should totally do a reaction video for Miss Grand Thailand.
Oh, that's what you were saying.
You're not doing that without me. Have you lost your mind?
Never mind. Never mind.
Actually, maybe
that was treasonous.
You don't want my reaction video to some of that stuff. It's going to be the same. I will switch my camera off again. It'd be worse than the Lulu is a Salulu. I'm like, sometimes these people, and they go viral and all the pageant fans go, oh my gosh, it's amazing. Like, dude, it's just, she did something on stage. It's not, anyway.
Oh, it is amazing.
That's the kind of reaction you want, an in-depth analysis of my thoughts of what that person did on stage. But we can. Before I lose my, I was about to swear. I will stop. Almost. Haley, what have you got coming up this week?
I have my second week as a producer and multimedia journalist for Erie News Now. I have 6 different stories lined up for this week, so I'll be doing at least 6. Usually it's like 2 or 3 a day. I'm never in the office. I think it's awesome. But when I am there, I'm editing. So I'll be doing lots of that, lots of getting up at 5:30 in the morning to work out and then go to work and class. So just work stuff. And I have an exclusive tomorrow. So I'm really thrilled about that. So
post-pageant era just looks really good on you. Like, you're in a groove.
Thank you.
You're letting me torture you. You've got a job. You're in school. Like, you're in a good groove, dude.
Yeah, I feel good.
Like, I'm done, but now I'm kind of loving it.
Yeah, it's working really well for me.
At some point, I'll bully you, but I'll allow it for now.
All right.
All right. let's hang it up there for this week before I keep these lovely people on any longer. Yes, my dear. What?
Haley, check Instagram.
Oh, any tips for my first non-school pageant? That one?
We can't say her, and don't say her handle, though. I don't know if that's allowed.
That's funny.
I would.
That's actually really funny. I really love this for you.
I love her handle.
My first tip for you is to change your Instagram username.
Yeah, change your Instagram handle immediately.
So much love. With so much love, we
Can
have
I
to
say
change your
it?
Instagram
I
handle.
can say it.
I don't think you should. I think we should bypass that. No.
I would suggest not to.
Yeah, my second tip is to practice your interview, understand the system and what they're looking for, plan accordingly. Yeah, do your research. That's the main thing for your first non-school pageant. You've probably got the stage fright out of your system and that sort of thing, but just adding that extra pageant polish, like changing your Instagram username, is really helpful.
Change your username. Change your username first off. Believe me. Secondly, buy my book on Amazon. You'll be squared away.
She said, "This is my Finsta IG. Sorry, just keep that thing anonymous." Okay. I don't know how anonymous it is currently, but keep it very anonymous.
I said don't mention it. Okay, don't mention it now. Don't use that. You will have no idea how many people will have coronaries in pageantry over the minutest offense. And I love it. As an Australian, I couldn't care less, but a lot of pageant people are not like me. They're very set in their ways. And so, yeah, don't do that. It's like I knew a Miss Universe Australia contestant who was in the news for being a very big OnlyFans creator, and she was bragging about how much money she was making. Then she wanted to enter Miss Universe Australia, and she pulled down all those posts. The problem was she'd been in the news. So any time you looked her up, all you'd get was news articles about this Miss Universe Australia contestant who was bragging about how much money she was making. As an OnlyFans, we call them content creators. Okay, so yeah, it can have a long tail. Just believe us on that. Okay, Instagram, always entertaining. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank these lovely people for taking time out.
You're funny.
And we'll speak to you next week. Bye. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you're a competitive pageant girl and you're after some high-performance pageant coaching, make sure to come and check us out at thepageantproject.com, where you can start your journey for free. In the meantime, follow us on all our socials at The Pageant Project. Speak to you next time.